Can you ever be recovered from borderline personality disorder? That is a question that we're going to be talking about in today's video. Welcome back to Mental Health Mondays, you guys. This is the first Mental Health Monday that I've done with literally no preparation whatsoever. I have literally just got my camera and I just want to sit down and talk to you guys about this because it's been something that has been on my mind a lot lately. It's something that I get a lot of comments on. It's something that I discuss a lot in my therapy sessions, and so I just wanted to chat through it in the hopes that it gives you guys some comfort, and it's probably going to help me to get it said out loud. Borderline personality disorder is a very, very difficult mental illness to live with. I was diagnosed with it when I was 21, I think, but I've had the symptoms for a long time, and I've been on a very long journey of recovery with it. I've talked a lot about it on here. I've got multiple different videos on it. It seems to get a really, really bad rep online, and yeah, I guess I kind of want to be an advocate to show you guys that you can lead a normal life with it. But there comes the question in that, can you actually be fully recovered from it? I think, sadly, the short answer is no. But like a lot of mental illnesses and chronic illnesses, etc., you can have the illness but not necessarily display all of the symptoms all the time. If I was to go to a psychiatrist now, I would not be diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, I know that. However, I do still struggle, I do still have relapses, and that's fine. That happens with a lot of illnesses. Last night, for example, I've been fine for a long time, but there's been a lot going on in my life. I've been through a breakup. My current living situation is changing. I'm about to be 25. Just all of these things going on in my life. I had a little bit of a wobbly last night, and that's fine. We just need to educate ourselves about this disorder. I've definitely learned a lot about myself and borderline personality disorder and how it affects me over the years. But I guess I just wanted to chat to you guys about recovery with borderline personality disorder, because it is possible to live a normal life, and for borderline personality disorder to be such a small, tiny, insignificant thing in your life, and kind of the steps that it took me to get there. I do actually have a video on how I recovered from BPD. What you can do is you can put the effort in, and you can put the work in, and you can go to therapy, etc, etc. We'll talk about that in a minute, to be able to get to a normal kind of mindset. I guess the thing is with a lot of people with BPD is that they might not actually notice that they've got it. And that's difficult. The first step is kind of realizing that there is something wrong with you. And I first realized that there was something wrong with me when I was very heavily suicidal following my boyfriend when I was 17 breaking up with me. And then I started to notice a lot of issues around fear of abandonment, unstable sense of self, reckless behaviors, etc, etc. And yeah, like I said, it took me until 21 to be able to have that formal diagnosis of borderline personality disorder. For me, I think just really focusing on yourself, going to therapy, medication, friends and family, making sure you have some kind of goal and structure in your life is what got me to the place that I am at the moment. With therapy with BPD, most people do DBT or CBT. I have done both, and in therapy essentially what you work on are the issues and kind of rewiring your brain, because through events that have happened in your life, your brain has learned to act in a certain way, which has led you to the diagnosis of BPD. And it's all kind of about undoing all of that work, which takes time. It takes a lot of time. BPD recovery is not easy, it's not pretty, but it is possible. For me, what I found helpful was medication. I was on venlafaxine for a very long time, and although I don't really recommend it to a lot of people because it was very hard for me to come off in the end, that medication, I would say, definitely gave me a kind of boost to be able to work on myself and on getting better. Therapy has been so important. You cannot recover from borderline personality disorder without therapy. I have my therapy book here and I just wanted to like read through it just to see kind of like what I've been doing for the past few years, and it's actually quite incredible to see exactly how far I've come. Like nowadays when I have a kind of setback, I think, oh no, this is the end of the world, but I am actually able to bounce back a lot quicker than I was before. Before I was in a horrible self-harming suicidal mindset for a long time. I felt very hopeless, and although I do get fleeting moments of them now and again throughout recovery, I guess they just become less common. For me, I really needed to work on my fear of abandonment, and it's really hard to say exactly how I've done that, but I guess it's, well, in therapy you go back to the root to where all of these things kind of began, and it's all about questioning yourself when, you know, these thoughts do come up. I feel like a lot of the time with people with BPD, we can catastrophize situations. BPD loves drama. It loves dramatic situations that it can take hold of you. BPD also thrives on unhealthy coping mechanisms, all of which I've done in the past. And actually in recovery with BPD, it's very difficult to find where the line is with these kind of impulsive, reckless acts. You know, sometimes they can just be a part of growing up, but sometimes they can be a part of BPD. A lot of people do things recklessly, a lot of people do things impulsively, and it's so hard to gauge whether this is linked with BPD or this is just something that's happening that you're going to be able to get over. But you do become better at analysing your behaviour, and I think that is the key. It is analysing why things are happening and what you can do to you know, help that. So now when a situation arises for me and I want to act impulsively and I've been not looking after myself so much, I'm usually aware of it, and it usually kind of comes to a head, and then I'm able to say, okay, like, I need to do something to sort this out, and I now have the tools to be able to move forward from that. But you don't always want to do things the healthy way. You don't always want to talk about how you feel. Sometimes you literally just want to go with this intense feeling of how you're feeling. It is very hard to get out of the mindset of seeking highs, and I guess what I've learned is that I need to seek highs in a more healthy way, because a lot of the highs you seek with borderline personality disorder are short-lived highs, and they're highs that come with a crash. Obviously, if you have BPD, you'll know that your emotions are like a roller coaster and they can change from one minute to the next. And to regulate these, we need to put techniques in place to be able to stabilize our mood. You need to be actively doing these techniques and not abandoning them. But a lot of the time, what I do is I just kind of go off on one, and then I'm like, oh, okay, let's use my techniques, and then I'm really healthy for a while, and then I'm, you know, that's BPD. It's like kind of all or nothing. But I also think it's so important in any type of recovery, especially BPD, is to not beat yourself up if you do fall off the wagon. If you do start going into these impulsive behaviors, you do start getting more caught up in situations and more bothered by things with relationships and people, etc. That's fine. Like, you can't be expected to be perfect all the time, and a lot of the time I do feel like a fraud when I come on here and I talk about recovery and I give all these really healthy techniques, and then sometimes I do not take my own advice. Especially recently, like I said, I've been figuring out a lot of things in life and I've not necessarily made the right decisions. But that is okay. Like, it's okay to not do things right all the time, because that's what recovery is all about, and I am constantly learning. And I'm nearly 25 now, and like I said, I'm in a flipping amazing position in life right now. Like, I did not even think I would be alive to see this age. Never mind, I work for myself, I live by myself, I own my own place, and I'm also moving house as well. I've had to deal with all of that, and also a recent breakup, which was my decision. We'll talk about that another time, BPD and breakups, but no wonder I've been all over the place. So I don't know, I guess I just wanted to tell you that it is gonna be okay, and you just need to keep your sights focused on the fact that things do get better, but they will be up and down. But you shouldn't be too hard on yourself if you do have blips, because they're gonna happen. What you will notice is you will recover far quickly from situations than you did. I don't struggle with all of these symptoms anymore. Yes, they flare up, but it's possible to have healthy relationships. Even though me and my ex are no longer together, that's probably the healthiest relationship that I have had ever. And nothing went wrong. It wasn't a dramatic breakup. It was just the case of life situations and things just not working out. That just kind of shows me, and hopefully shows you, that it is possible to have a normal relationship where you're not constantly scared of that person leaving you, and you're not behaving really unhealthily in order to get attention from them. That's another actually really key thing I've learned in borderline personality disorder recovery. That's such a long thing to say, is that I've learned to communicate not through pain. I've learned to communicate using my words. I don't need to do something dramatic for people to see how much I'm hurting. You're all so strong, and I'm sending love to all of you, and I really hope that you can all be in my position where BPD rarely crosses my mind on a daily basis. Yeah. I hope this rambling video kind of gave you some comfort. BPD is gonna be with me for the rest of my life, and I may well have a few relapses, but to be honest, I feel like I am so strong within myself, and I have such a good toolbook slash this book, which is full of coping techniques, etc., that I will be able to deal with anything that it throws at me. Yeah. Let me know what you thought of this in the comments. I'm sending love to all of you, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.